Hello guys, I'm working on 2002 ML320 that has the code P0400 for the EGR recirculation flow. This is the vacuum control system. So let's get underneath the hood. We can actually look some freeze frame data, and we get underneath the hood. I did actually clear the code 2 days ago for this car, and it came back. We were in the open loop, 10% calculated load. The engine was warm, 172 Fahrenheit. Fuel trim was okay. Now the engine is looking at the because this system does not have a designated sensor for EGR flow like Ford's a DPFI. This just looks at intake manifold pressure, and it was hitting 4.1 psi. At 1500 RPM with a speed of 48 miles an hour. So let's get underneath the hood, do some checks, see what we can figure out, and take it for a test drive and see if we can duplicate the problem. Okay, the first thing we need to do, so the EGR valve is located right underneath the intake snorkel. It's kind of buried behind underneath the intake snorkel, and basically what we have a vacuum valve. We have a solenoid that is controlled by the computer that will open and close the vacuum source to our EGR valve, and then we have a tube that's connected from the EGR valve to our intake. Basically, the job of the EGR is to recirculate some of the exhaust gases back into the intake for a better gas efficiency and cleaner burning of the fuel and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the first thing we need to do is there's a couple things we have to check. We have to check our EGR valve. We have to check our solenoid. The first one I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the connector from my solenoid, and if you guys can see that, it's right straight in there, and it has clips on the side, so just take the long pliers. You have to kind of wiggle it a little bit to take it out. And solenoid is ground size switched. It has the power from the fuse, so we need to check the power on our connector. This is really not working for me. There you go. I think the straight pliers works better. So here's my connector. It's right in here. So I'm just gonna use my power probe and see if I have a power one of these two wires. I'm not sure which one is, but I'm not gonna jam this in there. I'm just gonna touch it, and I got nothing here. I got 3.5 volts. I think this is the bias voltage for the computer uses for. This is my control wire basically, and right now I have. There you go. I got battery voltage on my connector. I know this is not a good test. I should test this as a loaded circuit. Trouble is, I got no bidirectional controls to do that, so I'll just have to go with the flow, I guess. So next test, I'm going to connect some jumper wires to my solenoid, and I'm going to activate the solenoid to see if it clicks or not. And if it does, then we're going to start the engine and activate the solenoid. Then we're going to look some data on the scan tool to see if we have a flow of gases through our intake. So just got a couple jumper wires. I'm gonna hook it up, and I got the camera down just for you guys to see it better. But I just have to have 2 hands to do this part. So basically I'm just going to plug it in into a solenoid. It's just a 2-wire connector, power and ground, that's all it is. Okay. And these are very fine connectors. This is what you need to do this kind of tests. So, and you just make it yourself. I got a whole bunch of different wires that I use. It's very tedious. Okay, I think I'm okay. So this is my solenoid, this is my connector. So you just you press these 2 tabs to pull it out and unplug it. And now I'm gonna test the solenoid and to see if it clicks or not, and then we'll start the car and see if we have a flow. Now, if my solenoid is not open, I'm giving the ground through my power probe. So if my solenoid is not open, I'm going to have a ground on the on this wire. So let's see that. Okay, you can see the green light. I got a ground. So now I'm just going to give the power and to see if my solenoid clicks. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but I can hear clicking. Okay, so now since we have confirmed that, the next step gonna be I'm gonna start the car and I'm gonna see if we have any. Now, if we do have a flow, the engine's gonna stumble a little bit. It's gonna have a little bit of rough idle. Some cars will completely shut off and the EGR is activated at the idle, some cars not. So it's kind of hard to tell what to expect, but I just want to expect some kind of a response from the engine. And I'm going to have my oxygen sensors, and I'm expecting to see these voltages on the O2 sensors to going down lean, and we'll see what kind of manifold the pressure we're going to read on the map sensor. And actually I'm going to get you guys down to scan tool so you guys can see what's happening. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to activate my solenoid, same thing that I did it a minute ago, and then we'll see what kind of response. I'm sorry. Alright, sometimes hard to get everything in a shot. Okay, so I'm going to zoom to my scan tool. Alright, that'll work. Alright. Okay, so we have a 5.4 psi now on a map sensor. The oxygen sensor are switching from rich to lean, and let's see what time to put everything there. Okay, let's see this. Now you can see my engine is responding. My map sensor is at 7.3, 7.4, 7.7 at the most. My O2 sensors are going, you know, the computer now is responding to this extra air, so it's adding more fuel. And now we can see the map sensor is at around 6.4 at some point, 6.7, 6.4. Okay. Now let's move down again. All right. Okay, since we could see that engine responded, this tells me that my EGR valve is working, that actually my vacuum supply, it's not corrupted, that if I would have a main vacuum supply line open somewhere, I would not see any flow of the gases through my intake. So this tells me that my the valve is okay, my solenoid is okay, and my vacuum lines are okay, my vacuum supply is good. And now at this point, I mean, it could have been also we have a good power feed. Now we could have a problem with wiring issue from the computer down to solenoid, but I doubt it, because if you have any kind of electrical issues, the computer monitors this circuit, and it will flag the code for the specific EGR solenoid issue, not for the insufficient flow. That's my theory. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's correct. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this apart and see if something is clogged up, and if you have to clean it, and we'll go from there. And once if we found something that's dirty, we're going to clean everything up, and then we're going to repeat this test. We had around, I think it was 7.7 psi on map sensor, and if we fix this, I'm hoping to see that pressure go up a little bit more. So and also we can take a car for test drive, because we have a freeze frame data to compare the reading on map sensor. I'm not sure what it is, I forgot, but we can go back to our freeze frame and see it again, and then we can take a car for test drive and see if that's going to improve or not. Now, all these numbers don't really mean much to me, because I'm not sure, what numbers the computer is looking to be happy with it, but it gives me some direction to go, to see what if I improve anything or not. So. All right, let's take this apart and see what we found. Okay, guys. I got this removed partially. This is the snorkel now. I removed my mass airflow sensor. Simply just you're gonna loosen up this hose here. A clamp, and pull it apart. Take your mass airflow sensor, put it on the side. You don't have to do that, but I think it gives me a little bit more room. Now you're going to have a bolt here that holds your, let's see, it's a T20 right down here. You're going to take that bolt out, and then this hose, I didn't bother to take it apart. I just pull all this together, and you just have some grommets underneath, and that's easy, I think, easier to do. Now you're going to have one hose, I think it's a PCV system. Basically, hose is here. I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. Just pull that hose off, and then pretty much you're almost done. Now you're going to have a clamp here. Spread this clamp apart, and then you're going to have one clamp on the bottom, and I'll show you once I take this out. That's what holds it to throttle body. And now, so this is the bottom clamp right here, and basically you just pull this up. You can see there's like a little hook. You just pull this down, and it'll get it off the throttle body. So this is, set this to the side. Now our EGR valve is located right in here. We got some vacuum hoses, and this is the let's see, this is my solenoid, and this is a tube that goes from the EGR valve into the intake. We're going to have 2 bolts here to loosen up my the tube, and this should be bolts on the EGR valve. I need to first, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to spray this with some penetrating oil. So I'll have to get this unhooked from the EGR valve. This have to come off, and then I'm going to have bolt. Let me see if I can get the. Let's see. I've got my mirror. So there you go. There's one bolt. I think it's a T30, and there's another one right there. Let's see if my camera can pick that up. Right there. So you're going to take those 2 bolts to loosen up your pipe from the EGR valve that goes into the intake manifold, and then you will get this guy. You just spray with some kind of penetrating oil to get that loose. You will have to hold the bottom nut to right here. So put the wrench here, and then you're gonna get this one loose. And now the EGR valve itself has a couple of bolts. Let's see here. Let's see if I get a light. Let me get this hose first, and then I'm gonna get this out first, and then I'll see what else I need to do. Okay, guys, so I got this loose. What I did, I put you're really gonna need like a short wrench. So like this was a 22 millimeter. I put it on the bottom nut right there. Okay, and then I used the adjustable wrench on the top and crack it loose, and then at the other side, right in here, you're gonna have this bracket has only two bolts, here and here. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, my camera, I was zoomed in too much. So here's my tube, here's my EGR valve, and here's that bracket. Right here, you're gonna have 2 bolts here and another one here, and you just got those loose, and you're gonna lose your tube. And now the EGR valve itself, it has I found it got 2 bolts on the top. There's, let's see, there's one here, and one is down here, right there. So got those 2 loose. That's like I'm not sure what sizes. I'll tell you guys. I need to figure it out. So that should be it. Once we get all that out, we should be able to get everything removed. Okay, guys. This is a major pain in the butt. To get this bolt off, you have to disconnect your injector. Okay, this injector here. Get disconnected and move this harness to the side. If you want to do this, get one of these wobbling, whatever they're called, extensions. Without it, don't even try it, because it's not, you don't have a, it's not a straight shut down. This one, you have a fuel rail in a way. On this side, this tube is in a way. So but this worked okay, and this is a let's see, E12. Yeah. So what I did, I put it on the bolt first, and then I put my extension on it, and it's just really tight. And there you go, guys, you can see I got it loose. And I did the same trick on another side. I mean, without this, don't even try it. I mean, it's just impossible without this type of extension. So alright, let me get this all out, and then we'll see what we got. Alright, guys, this was a job and a half. Alright, I got a tube out, I got a EGR valve out. When you take the EGR valve off, you know, so you're gonna have those two bolts on the top. Once you remove it, you're gonna have a little gasket that sits on the exhaust, so make sure don't lose this guy. Okay, now here's the problem right there. See how it's completely clogged up. Alright, so that was my suspicious. So one more tip. When I was trying to once I got my bolts off the EGR valve, okay, I was trying to pull it out from here. I couldn't do it, so I was able to pull the tube out a little bit. So basically I just unscrewed the valve off from this end. So I just I cannot get this tube, I cannot get it disconnected from this flange. So just go ahead and twist it around, and you can just take it off like that. And this guy, the tube, is a little tricky as well, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be tricky to put it back in because of this curve here. And also you're going to you will have this gasket as well. You just have to kind of play with it and move it around until it gets out. I mean, I got no good explanation how to do. You just have to curse a little bit and say a couple of nice words about it, and it will get out. There's plenty of room between engine and firewall to pull this off. And so I'm going to get this cleaned up. I'm not going to show the cleaning process. I mean, there's plenty of things on YouTube. Basically, you just get the wire and brush, whatever you can get, and get it cleaned up. Now, one thing we also can do to test the system, also to test our EGR valve for correct function. I do not have good vacuum pump. This one is messed up, doesn't hold the vacuum very well. So don't do this. But I'm just gonna I'm gonna suck the air, and you're gonna hear the valve opening and closing. But it's pretty nasty. Don't do this. All right. There you go. There you go. It's nasty. Alright, it's my tongue, I'm sorry. So anyway, you could hear that the valve is opening and closing, and when I release the pressure, you hear the quick click. That means it's functioning properly. So I think we're going to be able to fix it by cleaning up our tube, and that should be it. So again, to prevent from changing unnecessary parts, the best thing to do is just to unplug your connector, get some jumper wires, start the car, and give power and ground to the solenoid, to this guy here. It doesn't matter what power and ground you're going to put, just get the jumper wires on it once you unplug your connector, and you hear the engine. Apparently this engine will not completely die. We'll actually see once we're going to repeat the test and see what it's supposed to sound like. So let's just wait to and we'll figure that out. So I'm going to get all this cleaned up, all the crap out of the carbon deposits and all that. So I'll give you guys after shot, and we go from there. All right. Okay, guys, this is the after shot. So basically, what you got to do is just get some, wires, brushes, whatever you can get into it, and this is what I don't know if the camera can pick it up. My light is kind of, I'm not sure. But you will not get everything out, but this is, I'm not sure. It's hold on. Well, this is it. Just do the best you can. I'm not sure if it's going to shine through now. you know, to get it cleaned up. You will not get it all of it out, but that's that. I'm sorry. And this is my EGR valve. Just scraped it off. It's a tough stuff. I mean, it takes a while to get it all cleaned up, and so these carbon deposits are pretty tough to clean. Now, when you get all this, when you finish cleaning, what you need to get under the hood next, and make sure to clean. This is the exhaust side where this is where the EGR valve sits on, so make sure you got all this cleaned up. This was actually pretty clean, but you just kind of do the best you can. and give you the shot of the other side where the tube goes to. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see. Right there. Okay, so to make sure you got all that, this part clean up. This is, most of the time everything is in that tube anyway, but when you're taking the tube out, remove this hose here. This hose is in the way, so just pull this on the side so you can get your tube back in and out. So, alright, I'm going to put everything together and repeat the test. Okay guys, I got everything buttoned up, looking good. Just make sure you got everything, you know, all the hoses that you got disconnected, put it back together. This snorkel was pretty easy to put back on. It's nothing really to it. Make sure you disconnect. You make sure to reconnect your injectors. That's must. I don't think you can do it with the injector plugged in. This injector here has to be unplugged, and the harness has to be moved away so you can get down to that bolt. It's not too bad. I mean, it's sort of kind of aggravating, but actually it wasn't too bad of a job. So let me I'm gonna get you down to scan tool again, and let's see what kind of reading we're gonna have. I think we had like a 7.7 before max on the mass or the map sensor. So let's do it. That's the best I can do. I mean, it's you guys can see it. So let me let's get it started and see what I got everything hooked up. I got my cable, my jumper wires hooked up to my solenoid, and I'm ready to go. Let's see what we got. Kind of cold right now, so okay, let's see what we got. We got 4.8, 4.9. Just the throttle is actually open a little bit. This one is reading 5 on the map sensor. Let's just do it. 8.11. This is fixed. You can see it's almost all. 11.2. Nice. I like it. All right. The oxygen sensors, they run lean, 300 millivolts. This is cool. All right. Alright guys, well I'm going to call this fix. One other thing I should do, I should take it for a test drive and see if I can, you know, drive the car and compare the reading from my freeze frame data with the new data, but this is pretty much done. I mean, the only other thing that could have happened is that I'm having some kind of electrical issue between the computer and my solenoid, but I doubt it. I mean, this is fixed. One of the problem is I looked through the scan tool and I could not find the EGR data anywhere. So even if I drive the car, I'm not going to be able to see what is my map sensor reading at the time when the computer is energized. It would energize the map sensor. Other thing I could do, I could back probe my solenoid and put it on a voltmeter and drive it, and just wait for the voltage, for the ground, for the control basically from the computer. I don't think I'll do it. I mean, I'm pretty happy the way it is. I mean, I think I'll just leave it the way it is right now. So I'll call this fixed. So for this kind of system on this car, I think that the best option to start the diagnostic is just to unplug your solenoid, get some jumper wires on it, and that time you're safe. I mean, once you unplug your sensor, you will set the code on your computer, but you will know that that's what you've done. So. But once you unplug your connector from the solenoid, get your jumper wires and fuse jumper wires, and activate your solenoid, listening for the clicking of the solenoid. If you don't hear the clicking of the solenoid, that is your problem right there. You don't have to go anywhere. I mean, you have to replace it, then you can start the car, do the same thing, and if you hear that your idle is getting a little rough, then you know you got a problem with your flow. Basically, you plugged up somewhere. So you could actually see what it's supposed to sound like. It really needs to get rough. When we did it the first time, it was rough, but not nearly as much as after we get it fixed. And then you have to make sure that once you take everything apart, test your valve, your EGR valve. Make sure the vacuum that holds the vacuum. Don't do what I did with the mouth, but I don't have my. I need to get my vacuum pump. So and once you release the vacuum, it should be like a nice crisp pop. That tells you that that valve is going back down. And make sure you got your tubing, the vacuum lines. That you don't have problem there. Make sure that you have the intake and exhaust access are nice and clean, and that's about it. I mean, that's of course check for the battery voltage at your connector, and I think that's all you got to do. I mean, I think the most common is actually the plugged up pipe anyway. So, and to clean it up, just get some wires, get some brushes, and just brush it through there. It's nothing really, it's not rocket science. You just get it cleaned up. And actually, what I did also with a pipe, I actually put it on my faucet out in hot water. Just had some hot water running through there, not as much as carbon as you can, and that's it. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I know this is going to be a long video, but there's a lot of material that needs to be covered, so you don't replace the unnecessary parts that don't have to be replaced. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and see you next time. Bye. Thank you.